While everyone's watching California and Florida crash, there are 10 housing bubbles hiding in plain sight. Cities where prices have quietly inflated 80 to 120% since 2020, but the media isn't covering them. These markets are ticking time bombs, and if you're buying in these areas, you're walking into a financial disaster. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which cities to avoid and why the smart money is already running. The 2025 housing market isn't just about the obvious crashes everyone talks about. While headlines focus on coastal chaos, hidden bubbles are brewing in America's forgotten corners. These aren't your typical overheated markets. They're flying under the radar, which makes them infinitely more dangerous. Price appreciation that defies logic, local wages that can't support the math, and warning signs that most buyers are completely missing. If you're serious about protecting your financial future, hit that subscribe button right now, because what you're about to discover could save you from the costliest mistake of your life. Number 10. Boise, Idaho. Boise was supposed to be the affordable tech haven, the place where California refugees found sanity. But in 2025, it's become a cautionary tale of what happens when growth moves too fast. Home prices here have exploded 95% since 2020. The median home price now sits at $565,000, while the median household income struggles to hit $250,000, $68,000. That's a dangerous disconnect that's finally catching up. Inventory has surged 240% year over year. Homes that once vanished in bidding wars now sit for 120-plus days. The tech layoffs that started in 2024 are accelerating, with major employers cutting remote positions. And here's the kicker. Over 35% of homes were purchased by investors during the boom. They're now racing for the exits. The rental market is collapsing too. Airbnb revenues are down 40%, and many investor-owned properties are flooding the resale market at steep discounts. Number 9. Austin, Texas. Austin, the Silicon Hills darling, is facing a reality check that's long overdue. This isn't the Austin crash everyone expected. It's worse because nobody saw it coming. Between 2020 and 2023, home prices shot up 78%, reaching a median of $520,000. But the tech exodus that started as a trickle is now a flood. Tesla's workforce reductions, Meta's Austin office downsizing, and startup failures are hollowing out the buyer pool that drove this boom. Current inventory levels are up 180% from last year. Price cuts are becoming routine. Over 40% of listings have reduced prices in Q4 2024. The suburbs that were hottest during the pandemic, Cedar Park, Round Rock, Pflugerville, are now seeing the steepest corrections. Property taxes, already among the state's highest, are crushing affordability. Many homeowners are now paying $12,000 plus annually just in taxes. Number 8. Spokane, Washington. Spokane was the Pacific Northwest's best-kept secret. Affordable, scenic, perfect for remote workers. But that secret status created a bubble that's now bursting in slow motion. Home prices here have risen 89% since 2020, hitting a median of $425,000. Local wages, rooted in healthcare and manufacturing, haven't kept pace. The median income sits at just $58,000. The warning signs are everywhere. New construction has outpaced population growth by 3 to 1. Inventory is up 220% year over year. Days on market have tripled, and desperate builders are offering $40,000 plus in incentives. The remote work advantage that brought buyers here is fading fast. Companies are calling workers back to offices, leaving many recent buyers stranded in a market they can no longer afford to maintain. Number 7. Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. The Research Triangle was supposed to be recession-proof. Tech, biotech, universities, a perfect storm of stability. But even the smartest markets can create the dumbest bubbles. Home prices have surged 82% since 2020, with the median now hitting $485,000. The areas that saw the biggest gains, Wake Forest, Holly Springs, Apex, are now seeing the biggest corrections. Corporate relocations that fueled the boom are slowing dramatically. Research Triangle Park's expansion plans are on hold. Multiple pharmaceutical companies have frozen hiring, and several tech firms have announced layoffs. The real danger here is overbuilding. Drive through any suburb and you'll see half-empty developments. Builders rush to meet demand that has since evaporated. Number 6. Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs rode the pandemic wave harder than almost any mid-sized city in America. Military stability, mountain lifestyle, Denver proximity, it seemed bulletproof. It wasn't. Home prices have exploded 91% since 2020, hitting a median of $475,000. But here's what nobody talks about. The military wages that were supposed to support this growth haven't kept up. Many service members are now priced out of the communities they protect. Inventory has quadrupled in the past year. Homes that once sold in days now sit for months. The short-term rental market, boosted by tourism, is oversaturated and underperforming. Climate risks are also mounting. Insurance premiums have doubled due to wildfire threats, and water restrictions are becoming more common. Number 5. Nashville, Tennessee. Music City's housing market was supposed to keep growing forever. Tourism, healthcare, finance, diversified and stable. But even Nashville's rhythm can skip a beat. Since 2020, home prices have jumped 85%, reaching a median of $465,000. The boom was fueled by massive corporate relocations and tourism recovery. But both pillars are now shaking. Several major companies that relocated headquarters are scaling back operations. Tourism numbers, while recovered, aren't growing as projected. Meanwhile, new construction has exploded, creating oversupply in key suburbs like Franklin, Murfreesboro, and Hendersonville. Inventory is up 160% year over year. Price cuts are spreading from luxury markets down to starter homes. The music industry jobs that employ thousands are increasingly unstable, with streaming revenues plateauing and live venue struggles continuing. Number 4. Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston's charm offensive worked too well. Historic beauty, coastal location, reasonable business climate, it became a magnet for relocating professionals and retirees. That magnetism created a dangerous attraction to disaster. Home prices have soared 88% since 2020, hitting a median of $510,000. But the local economy, built on tourism and port activities, can't sustain these valuations. The real killer is insurance. Coastal premiums have tripled, with many homeowners now paying $8,000 to $15,000 annually. Hurricane risks are deterring both buyers and insurers, creating a coverage crisis. Inventory has surged 200% plus in prime areas. Historic downtown condos and suburban developments are seeing massive price reductions. The retirement community that drove demand is pulling back as living costs spiral. Number 3. Bend, Oregon. Bend represents everything wrong with pandemic-era housing dynamics. A small city overwhelmed by outside money, creating a bubble that defies every economic principle. Home prices have exploded 97% since 2020, reaching a median of $685,000. In a city where the median income is $65,000, the math doesn't work, has never worked, and is finally catching up. The outdoor lifestyle that attracted buyers is becoming unaffordable for the workers who maintain it. Service industry employees, teachers, and healthcare workers are being priced out completely. Current inventory levels are 300% higher than 2 years ago. Luxury homes that were selling instantly now sit empty for months. The short-term rental market is crashing as travel patterns normalize and regulations tighten. Number 2. Fayetteville, Arkansas. Fayetteville might be the most dangerous hidden bubble because nobody expects it. Home to University of Arkansas and Walmart's corporate influence, it seemed protected from market volatility. That protection was an illusion. Home prices have risen 76% since 2020, hitting $385,000. While lower than coastal markets, this represents massive overvaluation for local wages averaging just $52,000. Walmart's recent cost-cutting measures are rippling through the entire regional economy. Corporate hiring freezes, vendor relationship changes, and supply chain reorganizations are all impacting local demand. Student housing overbuilding is another red flag. Developers built for peak enrollment that isn't materializing. Excess inventory is flooding both rental and sales markets. Number 1. Missoula, Montana. Missoula takes the top spot because it represents the perfect storm of hidden bubble dynamics. Small market size, extreme overvaluation, and economic fundamentals that make no sense whatsoever. Home prices have skyrocketed 102% since 2020, reaching a median of $525,000, in a city where the median household income is $56,000. This is perhaps the most overvalued market in America that nobody's talking about. The University of Montana is struggling with declining enrollment. The outdoor recreation economy that attracted remote workers is seasonal and fragile. Recent wildfires have driven insurance costs through the roof. Inventory has increased 280% in just 18 months. Homes are sitting unsold for 150-plus days. Many recent buyers are already underwater on their mortgages, and foreclosure filings are beginning to climb. The collapse here could be swift and severe because the market is so small and overextended. Conclusion: these 10 hidden bubbles share common threads: explosive price growth disconnected from local wages, overbuilding, speculative buying, and economic foundations that can't support current valuations. The smart money isn't just avoiding these markets, they're actively betting against them. Short-term rental investments are being liquidated. Corporate relocations are pausing. Local buyers are completely priced out. If you're considering buying in any of these markets, understand the risks. These aren't temporary corrections. They're structural realignments that could take years to resolve. Want to stay ahead of market crashes before they make headlines? Subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell. Because in real estate, what you don't know can financially destroy you. The hidden bubbles of 2025 won't stay hidden much longer. Make sure you're prepared when they burst.